After the events in
The vines are
Gaza,
bearing well
Samson
this
fell in love with a woman
They say
named
the harvest
Delilah,
will be
who
plentiful.
lived in the valley of Sorek.
The vines are bearing well this season.
They say the harvest will be plentiful.
It seems peace has visited this valley.
This time, the danger did not come with swords. It came through affection. The Philistine rulers approached Delilah with an offer.
Find out wherein his great strength lies.
If she could discover the secret of Samson's strength, they would reward her with great wealth. Delilah accepted. She did not attack
It is
Samson's
beautiful
body.
out here. The
She
harvest will be
patiently
plentiful
studied his
this year.
heart. Again and again, she
I could
asked,
stay here forever.
"Tell me the secret of your great strength."
Please tell me where your great strength comes from.
If they bind me with fresh bowstrings, I shall become weak.
Samson answered with deception, believing he remained in control. While Samson rested, Delilah tested his first answer. Hidden Philistine men waited nearby, ready to capture him. The trap failed. Samson easily broke free. His strength remained untouched, but something far more dangerous had already begun. The greatest deception was not Delilah's. It was Samson believing he could continue playing with temptation without being changed by it. Delilah did not give up after the first failure. She asked again, and Samson answered with another lie.
Tell me truly, where does your great strength come from?
If they bind me with new ropes, I shall be weak.
Again, she tested his words. Again, the trap failed. Samson's confidence only grew stronger. Day after day, Delilah continued asking the same question. Her persistence slowly became more powerful than Samson's caution. What began as conversation became emotional pressure. Samson grew weary, not from battle, but from constant persuasion. Finally, exhausted in spirit, Samson revealed the truth.
I have been a Nazirite. A razor has never touched my head. If I am shaved, my strength will leave me.
Now I know the truth.
He had been set apart to God from birth. His uncut hair was the outward sign of that sacred vow. For the first time, Delilah no longer heard another deception. She knew Samson had finally spoken from his heart. Samson believed love could protect what wisdom should have guarded. The secret was no longer his alone. Delilah knew Samson had finally spoken the truth. She secretly summoned the Philistine rulers, and they came with the promised silver.
Entice him and see wherein his great strength lies. And we will each give you 1,100 pieces of silver.
That evening, Samson rested with complete trust. He laid his head upon Delilah's knees, unaware that betrayal had already entered the room. While Samson slept, Delilah called for a man to shave the 7 locks of his hair. The outward sign of his Nazirite vow was quietly removed.
The Philistines are upon you!
Then Delilah cried out, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." Samson awoke, expecting another easy victory. But this time was different. He did not know that the Lord had departed from him. The Philistines seized Samson. They bound him with bronze chains and took him captive. Samson lost more than his strength. He lost the relationship he had taken for granted. Pride had finally reached its destination. The Philistines took Samson to Gaza. There, they blinded him and bound him with bronze chains. The judge who once defeated armies now walked in darkness, led wherever his captors desired. Samson was forced to grind grain inside the prison like a common servant. Pride had become humiliation. Day after day, the prison wheels continued to turn. The strongest man in Israel could no longer see the light. Yet while Samson labored in silence, something unnoticed began to change. His hair slowly started to grow again. God had not spoken, yet his purpose had not ended. Hope often begins quietly. Even after our greatest failures, God can begin restoring what we thought was lost. The Philistine rulers gathered to celebrate. They believed their god Dagon had defeated Samson.
Here in the heart of Gaza, the Philistines gather to honor their chief deity. They offer rich sacrifices and credit Dagon for their prosperity.
They brought Samson from the prison to entertain the crowd. Blind, chained, and humbled, he stood before thousands. Quietly, Samson asked the young servant beside him, "Place me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple." For the first time in many years, Samson prayed without pride.
O Lord God, remember me this once.
Samson placed his hands upon the two central pillars. His final act would not be for glory, but for God's purpose.
Let me die with the Philistines.
With all his strength, Samson pushed. The temple began to collapse. Samson's greatest victory came only after he surrendered himself completely to God. Sometimes our strongest moment begins with our deepest humility. Judges 16:30-31. He killed many more when he died than while he lived.